Okay. 6 o'clock, call the meeting to order. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Recognitions. Do you have any recognitions for this month?
Yes, I just want to recognize, I know as we went through our annual tour of the two buildings, we saw many classrooms, we saw some of the work that was done over the summer. I want to first give a big shout out to our custodian staff. They really did a fantastic job this summer for many reasons, but if you look at the classrooms, you look at the hallways, you look at some of the detail on our grounds, I've been very impressed with their work, and it was a team effort. So I want to first give them up the much deserved credit. I want to thank our ESY team, the teachers, paras, support staff that we had here this summer to work with our students for about a month to make a successful ESY program run. And I also want to thank our leadership team. So our building principals, our SPED director, our IT director, our business manager, our support staff, our admin assistants, for all the work that we've done from the end of June till now. We're going to talk more in detail about the school opening, but schools don't just open up on their own. It takes a lot of work behind the scenes, and the summer months is when we prep for that school opening. And I want to really commend this team who's here tonight for their efforts this summer. It has not gone unnoticed, and we are going to have a very successful opening because of your hard work. So thank you very much.
I'd like to add one thing to that, as far as the custodians go. I'm a big floors guy, so I love walking through and seeing all the sparkling floors and everything, but I mean, I think we can all attest to the fact that even during the school year, this place is kept in really great shape. I mean, the custodians do a great job year round. The summer, they really polish everything up, but it never gets to the point where you walk in and like, they really do a good job maintaining throughout the school year. And schools, a lot of things go on in schools, a lot of running around and things get spilled, all that stuff, and it's like a new school every day when they're done. So I thank them for all their work during the year. All right, approval of minutes. So we are approving the minutes for Monday, June 17th, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Second? Second. Any discussion about those minutes? All right, all in favor of approving June 17th, 2024 minutes? Aye. Correspondence. The only correspondence, I believe we've received a citizen emailed regarding a car plugged in behind the building, an electric vehicle. This has been addressed and handled, and at this point is a closed issue. However, I would like to say that I think it's prudent, given the push towards electric vehicles. I mean, you can't drive around without seeing at least one or two, no matter how short of a drive it seems to take. I think it's prudent to start looking into how we go about providing some sort of infrastructure to plug these cars in. We're not going to solve it right now. It's something that's going to require legwork and research, but I think there's some programs out there that can get it for no money, no cost to the school, and I think that's more than worth looking into given the way trends are in the automotive world. So, unless anyone else has anything else, I think we'll leave it at that for now. We'll revisit this.
I already started to look into, what it would take, so I'm happy to move forward.
Okay, that'd be good. You can be, we're going to table this stuff later probably because John's not here, but you can be the one person head of our electric vehicle subcommittee. All right, that's it. Any other correspondence that I missed? Okay. Presentations. Any presentations for this evening?
No, not outside of our reports, no.
All right. Public participation. Nothing? All right. Moving on. School committee reports. Do we have any school committee reports?
Want to go first?
No, this
was if we had a report.
Oh, sorry.
Jump the gun.
I'm so excited.
You're still a couple spots away. All right, financial reports.
Okay, so just once again, attached, or you have in your presence or on your screen, all the warrants and kind of the expenditures to date. We have rolled over from FY24 to FY25. So we will be updating on a monthly basis some of our expenditures for FY25, plus how we draw down our grants, both our yearly grants to the state and also some of our competitive grants that we've applied for and received.
So we rolled over, is everything kind of resolved as far as the account lies from the 24? We have some transfers.
I think there's a few things that between Ms. Brookfield and Ms. Lang, they're still talking about certain things, but I know that the two of them have worked very well, that when they communicate on a monthly basis about where we're at, we're usually like dollars or cents apart. So there's good communication, there's a good collaborative nature there.
Anyone have any questions regarding the financial reports? Got a good 2 months worth in here, so usually it's not quite that many. All right, superintendent's report.
Okay, so again, I started the report, this will be something I'll be consistent with this year, that was asked by me last year, just to give you an update on hires and departures. So I've attached that list. You're going to see some redundant names. I just put some of the names from June in case you forgot or you missed that from June, so you know who left and who we have since hired. We have a few positions still left to fill, but we always seem to have some late resignations, late in August, and we're always scrambling. And I think, again, I want to give kudos to Mr. Murphy, Mr. Diorio, Ms. Emery for really kind of getting on this. And we post these positions as soon as we get that resignation, and we start interviewing kind of a rotating basis as soon as we can. So we're going to open our school year in a very good space. I just want to start really by introducing Mr. Art Murphy officially. Art came on officially July 1. I know you've all met him. You just saw the tour of the elementary school. But Art is an established school leader. He's been in multiple districts with great success. And as you saw tonight, a strong acumen for PBIS and really building that culture, which I think is important for our students. And continue on the foundation, the hard work that our staff at the elementary school has already done with PBIS. I think Art is really the right person for this position, and we're very happy to have Art. So we're excited for this school year under his leadership. I just want to also add that this Wednesday and Thursday, we will have our new teacher orientation. It's roughly a day and a half where we meet with our new teachers in this room, and then they have some time with their principals in their separate buildings. But we go through a lot, soup to nuts, kind of what goes on in this district, everything from expectations to handbook, but also about our new Alma student information system. We talk about that. They meet with Justin Hackinson, they meet with the principals, they meet with me, they meet with their mentors, they have lunch with their mentors on day 2. So it really, we want to set our new teachers up for success as they enter the school year. And that's really the crux of this program, which lasts for 2 to 3 years. So you have this first year where you come in, you have this day and a half training, but the mentor meetings last throughout the course of the school year. There's monthly meetings with your mentor, the mentor coordinator, that goes into year 2 as well. We want to make sure that we're supporting our teachers as they grow. I did highlight some upcoming events, pre-K orientation on August 29th. I've also mentioned again that once again, thanks to our state government and our federal government, lunches and breakfast will once again be free for all North Brookfield students. It will be free for all students across the state, but that'll be 2 years in a row now that we don't need to worry about getting kids the food that they need and they want. We are opening up our school day for our staff next Monday and Tuesday, so August 26th and 27th. I am planning on sending my welcome back letter to families tomorrow morning, which will have a list of everything that's gone on this summer, but also all the upcoming events that they should be aware of, from pre-K orientation, kindergarten orientation, to the bus routes, to the lunch menu. So it's, again, trying to give parents as much information as we can prior to the start of school. Additionally, hopefully later tomorrow afternoon or even Wednesday morning, I will send my welcome letter to our staff, which will include our agenda for our opening 2 days of PD. So our staff will have enough notice of what they're going to be doing for those opening full 2 days. We welcome back all of our students, most of our students, on Wednesday the 28th. We have a full day for kindergarten through grade 12. So I also I'll outline and I'll go through these quickly. These items will also be, just for those people watching at home or curious about this, these will be outlined in the letter to families. But as we stated last June, the elementary school will be appealed to be launch school. And I want to give, again, kudos to Mr. Beffley and Ms. Marr for their training that they underwent in June to be ready to deliver this curriculum on day one. We are adopting Into Reading as a new reading curriculum for grades K through 5. And this was after over a year of vetting different curriculums, and the district and the school, the teachers who were going to be delivering this curriculum, felt this was the best curriculum for our kids. And so that curriculum has been purchased, it's in classrooms and ready to be delivered again, day one. We talked about this last year, and it's going to come to fruition in a few days. But our new student information system, which is called ALMA, will be launched. We've had training for teachers, Mr. Atkinson, and we'll be setting out information to families about how to access and how to use this. It's much simpler than our current system, and we feel it would be a lot more benefit to not only our teachers, but also our families and our students as we go through this process. As Mr. Diorio mentioned tonight, or refresh our memories, we have adopted Open Science for grade 7. So kudos to Ms. Malone, who underwent training back in July. That was a 4-day training that she went to. This was a grant-funded science program that we're excited to adopt, starting with grade 7 this year. So she put a lot of work in, so I'm getting ready for that. To again, be able to deliver this instruction on day one. We are also going to be introducing and phasing in September, October, and November our CAD Lab experience. CAD Lab stands for Creative Action Thinking. And as you may recall, we had a presentation from a team back in June, and we're excited to welcome this program and to start year one of this program, and phasing it into our elementary school and working our way up to the high school each month. And this is something that we're targeting a few teachers to start, and we want to see how this works, and we want to share that information, that data with our families and our students as we progress through it. But we're very excited about the potential of this program. And a couple last points I just want to share out. We mentioned this and we talked about this and it was voted on last year, but we are transitioning our 6th graders up to the middle school this year. So we're excited to have a true middle school model here at the junior senior high. We'll have grades 6, 7, 8 in our middle school wing. And Mr. Duran and I were on a call actually just this past week talking with another superintendent in Amesbury about the process and what we did and how we messaged it to families. And it was a great conversation, because they are looking to do something similar to us in the next coming year. So we're happy to be able to talk about what we are able to do, and we'll get back to them as we go through this first year. And last but not least for now, I want to mention that we are partnering with Novak Education. Novak Education is a proven, nationally and actually worldwide consulting firm started by Tracy Novak, who is actually a former Central Mass Central Office Administrator, around the theory of universal design for learning. And really, what we're hoping to do is use our staff, our district-wide and our school-wide PD this year to really kind of grow those skills with our teachers. We've been doing a lot of work the last year and a half around aligning our curriculum, and we feel this is the next step of giving our teachers the skills and our students the access to be more successful with the curriculum and what they're learning. So we're excited for this work. Our leadership team as well will be part of our year-long cohort with Novak Education, receiving training while our teachers are receiving training. So it's not just, it's all encompassing. It's at all levels, and we want to be able to support our teachers as we go through this process. I think that's it.
Anyone have any questions on the superintendent's report? Mr. Diorio. Now it's your turn.
I was excited to get started, sorry about that. So, we've been preparing very hard for this upcoming school year. I guess the first thing I wanted to show you was the hype video, which I see is loaded. I want to give a shout out before we play this to Mr. Bills, who created this along with our students. He did a lot of work on this at home, and as you saw in our walkthrough, this year we have our Mac computers. We're going to be able to do this kind of stuff throughout the school year. So without further ado, I guess I can...
Can you grab some of the lights?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can hear. Almost.
I don't know if you could go, it'll let you go back to the beginning, Tim. Sometimes I have to do that.
Yeah, I'll try that. My apologies for that. Well, my apologies. What I can do, what we can do is, like I said, this will be, you want to describe the lights, John? This is going to be linked in the newsletter that you receive tomorrow, so you can watch the whole thing in its entirety. We can send it to you tonight. My apologies. Again, as John said, this is Mr. Bills and the students did a great job with this. And we want to continue to do these kind of things to really promote what's going on at the school. So
It's been, just to share, there's after you went through this, there's about 4 or 5 students that are talking about our school and what makes our school great. Really proud of our students. We talked earlier today. I couldn't be more proud of the students in this building. And the pride they show in our school is incredible. This is a great video, so I hope you get to watch it tonight. We'll share that link with you all so you can see it.
Is it possible to put it up on the school webpage too, so if
Yeah.
someone doesn't receive the email, they
yeah,
can go
we
look
put
at
all
it?
the more newsletters up on Facebook. We can put this up on the school webpage. Yeah, great idea. Again, sorry for technical difficulties. I don't know if the Chromebook just can't support this right now or what's going on, but it's a good video. It's a very good video. I know I'm biased, but it's a good video.
So I'll go on. Some more great news that I'd love to share with you all is we received our NEAS report regarding our school's performance. I'm happy to say that we were approved for accreditation by NEAS. I shared in the school report some of the accommodations, and I won't go through all of them, but there was about 12 things that they pointed out that our school does great. And just to highlight some of them, the positive school culture that ensures all learners are known and valued and have equitable access to a full range of programs and services. This one's my favorite. The school culture, led by the principal, promotes a sense of collaboration, shared ownership, pride, leadership, and social responsibility, positive learning opportunities provided to students, student leaders, including the student council, who encourage social awareness and upstanding behavior, the meaningful and defined roles and decision-making assigned to students to promote responsibility and ownership, the palpable sense of inclusivity and compassion within and amongst the school community, the leadership team that was started here with some of our outstanding teachers, and the successful procurement of secured grant funding to advance our curriculum and programs such as illustrated math, which we started several years ago, Open SciEd, which we talked about, and the Safe and Supported Schools grant. So really proud of that and the accomplishments of our school. And I'm so excited that we got our accreditation, and I can't wait to share this with the staff. Last year we completed our Portrait of a Graduate as a faculty. This year we'll be incorporating our Portrait of a Graduate into our lessons and school culture. Our Portrait of a Graduate revolves around 5 key areas: critical and creative thinkers, global citizens, collaborators and communicators, character, and resilient and flexible learners. Our student sports night was August 13th. It was led by our athletic director, Ms. Kemp. Our school nurse and our coaching staff were also on hand to speak to the athletes about expectations, concussion protocol, practice and game schedules. Captain's practices have started and we're getting ready for the season. This fall we're going to have a field hockey team, and we're hoping to support a boys and girls cross country team as well as a JV soccer team. And we'll get that started once the school year begins. This year I'm also excited about this coming Friday. We have our 6th and 7th grade orientation as well as a new student orientation, and we opened it up to family members. So they are welcome to come, and I've been sending out in my newsletters updates, but it's from 10 to 1 this Friday. Students will be welcomed by Ms. Malone, our student council advisor, myself, student council representatives. The students will have a faculty meet and greet. They'll tour the school. They'll have some team building activities, and they'll receive their schedules and also their supply list. I know I've had parents reach out, and I've let the parents know that they'll receive it at that time. And any parents out there, if you can't make it to this meeting, you will get that supply list during the first week of school. This year, as I said, we invited family members to participate as well. We think it's important to bring the families and make them part of this. And the highlight of our day is going to end with a lunch provided by Student Council and, of course, Ms. Hanson's world-famous milkshakes. So we're excited about that. Right now, as Ms. McCormick mentioned, we have 3 new staff members on our team. And I talked about this when we took a tour of the school. Ms. McPherson joins us as our new high school ELA teacher. She brings a wealth of teaching experience, including teaching English classes as an adjunct professor at Clark College. Ms. Carrie Bradshaw joins our team as our new special education teacher in the middle school. Ms. Bradshaw has over 20 years experience as a special education teacher, and she's worked in inclusion settings, separate classrooms, and as a Title I teacher. And our new administrative assistant, Ms. Hannah Gallant, starts tomorrow. Ms. Gallant has worked in several schools in education as a substitute teacher, so she's very used to the educational setting. Prior to her arrival at North Brookfield High School, she was working as an administrative assistant in the district attorney's office. And that is all I have for you tonight. Thank you.
Any questions for? Thank you. All right, chronologically, the way this was uploaded, next is the student services update.
Thank you. So I have a few updates, not as many as Mr. Bureau, but since starting in the role, I've worked really closely with the leadership team, in particular with Caitlin Renovich, my administrative assistant, really on my transition to the department and to the district, really getting to know the department procedures, processes, meeting some of the staff that were here during ESY, and just really looking at that ongoing opportunity to really identify processes and procedures and ongoings within the department in terms of how we look at making those more efficient, more supportive of students and their families, and for staff as well. So I'm excited to have participated in that transition activity, and obviously that work will continue. As Mr. McCormick mentioned, our extended school year was held from July 15th through August 8th. It was very well attended by students. I appreciate the efforts of all the parents and families and supporting their students to attend. Attendance was really quite consistent and very strong. And again, the teachers and the staff who worked during the ESY program worked very hard to provide engaging, supportive programming for students, despite sort of that pull when it's summer and kids, maybe wanted to maybe enjoy some summer days, but they really were quite engaged with the really great work that the staff and the teachers had put together in terms of lessons. So I appreciate all of their hard work. It was nice to begin to meet some of the students and to see them working during that summertime. Our circuit breaker submission for FY24 was completed in mid-July, so we're waiting for just that review to occur. And then on July 23rd, we held what's called a kickoff meeting with PGS, and that is the company who is assisting us with the implementation of our new IEP system when we switched over to Alma. There also was that sort of shift to a new IEP system that's called EdPlan. During that meeting, included myself, Director of Technology, my administrative assistant, and other key PGS staff members, really to go through the program, gain a deeper understanding of the system components, and then really to identify those critical next steps in terms of training and implementation for both our core group as well as the training that will occur for staff as well. So over the next several weeks, our core team will focus on those priority tasks in terms of getting prepared for the upcoming training sessions that we're looking to do probably in October. Staff assignments for this school year were disseminated to all the paraprofessionals and ABA paraprofessionals. And then finally, just as the school year is quickly approaching, as Mr. McCormick mentioned, we as a leadership team have been working closely together on our opening days, including our professional development that's going to occur on Monday and Tuesday, as well as the new staff orientation that's occurring this week. So doing that work in collaboration with the leadership team, and so excited to have school start and then really begin to really meet students and families and staff. So again, just excited to be here. The summer has certainly flown by with a lot of work, but it's been very collaborative, supportive leadership team, and so happy to be here and work with my fellow colleagues.
Any questions regarding the student services report?
I wanted to ask in regards to the preschool, did the format of the preschool stay the same as it was last year?
At this point, it did in terms of that. We'll be, as we always would look at, in terms of how we support students and are there ways to make improvements, get feedback from staff, but it did start the way that it was organized for this past school year.
Any other question? All right. Mr. Murphy was painting his own office.
Thank you for noticing. And so thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here at my first school committee meeting and look forward to many more. I've always been a lifelong learner, and I think that's my biggest lens this year. Learning the school, learning the building, learning the staff, and obviously learning the students. So that's going to be the lens that I'm going to have all year. I think obviously listening to Mr. DiOrio's school committee report, I'm very excited that mine's going to look like that next year after the summer and all the great things we're going to do collaboratively at our school. So I'm very excited for my first year. Facilities looking great, staffing looking very good. Obviously Mr. McCormick mentioned that. PBIS, we just did a walkthrough. I think the school is going to be ready on day one for our students and for our staff, so they'll know the expectations. We'll be able to help them through their school day. I just can't wait for the school to have kids and staff in it. It's been a lonely summer. I think, a school is just a building over the summer. It's not a school. So I can't wait for day one and see all the kids coming in with the smiles and the oversized backpacks. It's going to be a great day. Curriculum, again, I think it was already mentioned. A lot happening this year at the elementary school. Continuing our Bridges math program into reading, Project Lead the Way in a few classrooms. And that's, the big ones, but there's other things going on. Our teachers learning Alma. So I'm just really cognizant of our teachers' time and using those first 2 days to get them prepared and not overwhelmed and really listening to what they have to say and just making sure they're in the right headspace and the school's in the right physical space to accept our students on the 28th. So that's going to be my huge job over the next week to get ready for day one. And yeah, lifelong learners, Thursday night, I'm going to be in a inter-reading hour-long session from 4:30 to 5:30. We have our staff ready for their hour-long session, looking at Tuesday, the second day, for an hour. Obviously, reading just goes across all curriculums when you think about it. So this is a huge win for the district, and I'm so excited to take it on and lead our staff and our students through this implementation. I'm very excited.
Any questions? I do have one.
Sure.
It says you're still looking for the STEM position.
Sure.
Has there been any progress on that? Is that something that we can get the masses of viewers
Yes,
out to get the word out there?
Actually, there's an interview tomorrow.
Okay.
That's going to be taking place at Mr. Diorio is going to be.
You know, that was something I think we just started that a couple of years ago. There was always some
Yeah, I
sort
think
of
there was
emphasis on
something
it, but the
that-
dedicated STEM
Right.
that went between the two buildings was, it really helped. I heard a lot of good feedback about it, so that's something I want to make sure we get taken care of. Not that I have any direct responsibility for that, but like, just keep us posted on that one, because that's near and dear to me. I like to hear that.
Yeah, we have it's actually our last interview candidate tomorrow at 10 o'clock, so hopefully we'll have a decision made by.
So there's been a good response.
We've had a couple,
for
yeah,
applicants.
yeah.
Okay, all right. I always concern me when I see that on there, so, thank you.
Well,
And the office looks good.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Old business, regionalization update. Nothing. No update. I know Sheila LeBlanc reached out last week to them as a response to their previous email from months ago saying, hey, any update on this? There was a big group email, crickets. I emailed her back and asked if she had heard anything, figuring maybe someone, because I think we can all relate, you don't always reply all, because then you get 100 messages. And so I said, hey Sheila, I'm optimistically hoping that a reply just to you happened, and she said no. So at this point, other than a away message from somebody on the thing, there's been no movement, and but you know, credit to everyone here. This school is not even thinking about that. I have to provide the updates now because Ron left, so it's my responsibility to do so. The update is there is no update, but you guys are all just pushing forward and doing great things for this school, so keep doing that. And that's where we are. Maybe next month we'll have something, maybe not. I'll keep fucking them. Anyways, all right, policy.
All right, so these are both just kind of informational, kind of dipping our toe in a couple things here. We talked about this a little bit last June. There was some question or some comments around the use facility policy and how that is used, utilized, kind of monitored. So I attached a document. This is just a very rough draft of some ideas that I had. I think later in the meeting, whether we do this tonight, I know John is not here, but as we assign subcommittee assignments, I think this is a policy we should revisit as a policy subcommittee and look at not only the language and who's responsible and who's seeing this and who's okaying this, but also looking at the fee structure as well, comparing our current fee structure to surrounding districts. Again, one of the things that I am a very strong believer in is we want to have the community come to our schools as much as we can. That being said, we need to make sure that we maintain our facilities, and that they look clean, they are clean, that they look good, and that our teachers' classrooms are clean. So, you know, with that traffic, we need to make sure that we have people cleaning up behind that traffic. So those are things that we need to talk about. But I just attached a draft document that I think, I wanted you guys to take a look at. I know part of the conversation last June was, in the current policy, it requires school committee approval. And I want to be very clear, not that that's a bad thing whatsoever. I think it's very challenging, though, throughout the school year as we get use facility forms all the time. We had over 100 last year. To have those be approved by a member unless we change the format of approval. If we still wait from meeting to meeting, which happen only on a monthly basis, it's really tricky to do some of that. So I would be open to discussion on that piece. And again, I think we need to look at the entire document, which I included in your packets, but also some kind of revised language I think we can look at. And one of the things that I try to do with the newsletters that I share and some of the documentation I present is to break it down into subsections. I think sometimes it's easier, it's more clarifying to read through it that way. So that's what I did with this initial 2-page draft, which is part of the current document. The only big change here, as you go through this, is you don't see the language around school approval. Again, this is just a draft version. This is nothing that we're voting on tonight or maybe even next month. Just to restart that conversation from last year. That's the first policy update.
Any questions on what Mr. McCrory says at this point? Well, you said we're not going to really do anything with this tonight, but any comments or anything in regard to this? All right.
Wait, can I wasn't here in June, so what is your concern that the school committee isn't presented with it first? Are you saying, like, for instance, if they ask for the use of the building on October 1st or October 15th, we had the meeting on the 14th, and then, you know what I'm saying? Is that what you're saying? Is it the timeliness of it, if they don't ask a month in advance?
Yeah, I think it's not that I don't want the school committee to necessarily have a approval of it. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, I think, I feel that if you guys want to weigh in on certain things, fine, that's great. It's just the timeliness, where we have so many building use forms that come across our office between groups from our own school district, whether it's Stuco or, we have dances, those events that sometimes are submitted right at the last minute, maybe after a meeting date. We also have youth groups from the town. We have other groups that want to use our buildings to play volleyball, soccer, you name it.
I don't remember voting on any of those.
We haven't. We haven't. And so we have not. And we haven't for.
I don't remember voting on it ever.
Yeah.
So then you're approving them anyway?
We are.
Change the
So
policy?
the building principles, the way it has been done the last couple of years, and as Mr. Kennedy said, probably prior to that for several years, the building principal, the superintendent, and then the director of facilities all sign off on the building use. But there is a section in the current handout where school committee approves as well. Has not happened, as you said. So I don't know, I think we should have further discussion on it. My recommendation at this time, without getting into finalized documents, I don't know if that's necessary if I make the school committee abreast of who's using the facility. But we can have further discussion about that. I just think the timeliness and making sure that we get signed off for our own students and the local groups that use our facilities, it may not work where our meetings are only monthly. That is your question, Ron.
Yeah, it did.
And the second policy, and I do not attach anything purposely, just I want to make the committee abreast of some Title IX changes that they changed some of the regulations back in early August of this year. Ms. Schofield attended a training a few weeks ago. We will be presenting a draft version of the updates for your review during next month's meeting. The mandated training that our teachers will receive prior to the start of school has all the updated regulations, but we need to then take those regulations and adopt them for our own district with the right people, point people in the right places. So we will present all that information for you to look at for next month. And I think, like I said, I know Mr. McGarry is not here tonight, but down the road, once we establish subcommittees, these are policies I think we can look at during a subcommittee meeting and bring them back to the general committee for a vote or approval or more questions.
Any questions? So the next new business is student handbook approval.
So we attached both the elementary and the high school handbooks, and we have been notified there was some spelling mistakes, so I apologize for some incorrect name spelling. Some of our members of the board here. But I did have both the building principals kind of give you an updated list of some of the important changes outside of the names and page numbers that they want to just discuss tonight. If you have any questions. We did, as you probably saw in both of the handbooks, we did update with the new strategic plan for the next 3 years with our core objectives, our mission and mission statements, and intended outcomes, so that has been updated. And then there are a few other things that, I don't know who wants to go first, if you want to just outline this, Diorio, your handbook first?
Sure. So for us, we, as Mr. McCormick said, we updated the strategic plan. We also added in our handbook, page 44, 43 and 44, the portrait of a graduate, so that is in our handbook now as well. Page 48 shows the updated marking periods. Page 50 has our updated bell schedule. And then really the only changes we made in the handbook, page 77 through 80, we updated our attendance policy and just made sure people are aware of that. And that's really the only 5 updates we did to our handbook.
Yes, same over here. Updated name and dates, updated grade changes throughout the handbook, K5 instead of K6. Updated the mission, vision, and core values in the front of the handbook on page 4. Updated the new version of the PBIS handbook. Very similar. We were left in a very good space with our PBIS handbook. Just minor changes to all the matrices. The star that we did is same as last time, except a few minor changes, so I updated the handbook. And then again, updated attendance information, mainly just the definition of chronic absenteeism was added, and those both were on page 34.
Any questions on those updates? All right, this is a voting item, so do I have a motion to approve the updates to the student handbooks for both junior and senior high school? And elementary school too? All right, and a second?
Second.
Okay. I guess now we can really discuss it if anyone has anything to bring up on this, but. All right, well, all in favor of approving those updates to the handbooks for both schools? All in favor? Thank you for the high-level stuff, so we know which pages to scroll to, and when Mr. McCormick sends us this multi-hundred page pack.
This will be the biggest pack of the year. I know this was over, this is like
257
Yeah.
pages.
You'd like to know, I didn't print this off. This is like a real paper. So I saved this.
Oh, we'd never hear from it if we had big stacks of paper sitting on our desk.
Didn't do that.
Yeah, we'd never get the end of it. All right. Next item is the approval of the Valley View school curriculum. This is the annual approval because they are in our district.
Correct.
So we, as the school committee here in town, we need to approve the Valley View school curriculum. It helps them keep their license and do what they're doing. So, all in favor of approving the Valley View school curriculum? Oh, sorry, I need a motion first. Sorry, we need a motion first to approve the Valley View school curriculum.
To make a motion to approve the Valley View school curriculum.
I second.
All right. Any discussion to be had on it?
Looks good.
All right. They do put a good variety in there.
Really? I was pleasantly surprised
Yeah.
at some of the detail too.
And they do mix it up just a little bit every year, so there's some different things within the same kind of genre of learning, same subjects, but different little variations on it. So they do. It's a nice looking curriculum.
I do have a question.
Sure.
Should someone from the Valley View attend our meetings?
I met with, trying to find his name. It wasn't Mr. Sloan, it was actually the director. Yes, thank you. Rick May and I met 2 weeks ago to kind of review this and discuss. And they're more than welcome to come. I know this, so this is the 3rd year now that we've done it this way, where we put the curriculum and changes in the handbook, or in the packet rather, and the committee votes on it. We can write them, it's fine, I'm sure you want to come, it's just, we have a brief conversation, he gives me the broad strokes of what's going on at Valley View, and we'll go from there.
I didn't know if they would be considered somebody to.
No, they're
No,
their
not that
own
way.
thing, it's just because they're in our district, we as the school committee in this district have to approve their curriculum.
Understand that.
Yeah, they're a separate entity there.
We have no real other say over the school.
Thank you.
That'd be-
Thanks for explaining that.
500-page packet. All right, so any other questions on that? All in favor of approving that? Did we already do that?
No, we did not.
Okay, all in favor of approving it now?
Yes.
Yes. All right. This one, subcommittee assignments, I'm going to move that we table this till John is here next meeting. We'll just kind of hold pat where we are right now with the subcommittees, and when John's back, otherwise we'll put John on every committee and at least take one. So we'll, I move that we table that until next week. You guys good with that?
Yeah.
All right. And that is it. Anything else? I don't think we have anything at this point for an executive session. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion on whether we adjourn or not?
You're enjoying the role again?
All right, all in favor of adjourning? All right, have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.